It's a brand new day with Mona News. It's time to have your say. She's got the scoop, the stories, all the latest trends. Mo's got the news, let's hear it. My dear friends, from politics to showbiz, no story's too small. Mo covers it all. She's got the inside call, her voice so smooth, like honey in the summer sun. With Mo on the mic, you know the news is always fun. Mornings with Mo, the best newsy news in the world. With her style so classic and her stories unfurled. From morning till night, she's got us in the know. Turn on your radio, let Mo's newsy news flow.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Wolfram, for doing the mod duties. You do so great. Welcome, Penny Williams and Tammy and Jedi Jess and Taryn and Christine. Good morning. We have all the stories this morning, a Cybertruck, an adult film star, just all of the ridiculousness that I could find. Our first story is quite sad, though. Parents have been identified, and I can loop this up a little bit. Here we go. Although, why? After their son, 15, allegedly unalived them and 3 of his siblings in a wealthy Seattle. Thank you. Why this must always.
My computer restarted, so thank you. It should feel much or sound much better because I have it on the mic now instead of one of my 3 cameras because I'm a professional. So it should sound better now. I need to remember that when I restart my computer to check the audio. So our first story is that a family has been identified after their son, a 15-year-old, allegedly unalived both the parents and 3 other siblings in a wealthy Seattle neighborhood. Welcome, Sea Salt and Driftwood and Greedy Bloke. So parents who were gunned down along with 3 of their children inside the family's $2 million Washington mansion on Monday have been identified. The father, Mark Humston, 42, and his wife, Sarah, and then 3 of their 4 teenage children were found shot to death inside the home in Falls City, a suburb of Seattle, around 5 a.m. on Monday. The couple's 15-year-old son has been accused of carrying out the entire family deletion. The alleged killer's teen sister was also targeted in the attack, but survived despite being shot twice. She was taken to Harborview Medical Center in Seattle after receiving medical aid from a neighbor. Humston, who was a Texas native, longtime software engineer at Hargis Engineers in Seattle, according to his LinkedIn. Quote, "We were blindsided and saddened by the tragic events that have led to the loss of a respected colleague, mentor, and friend, as well as the loss of immediate family members," Hargis Engineers said in a statement. Mark's leadership and vision were integral within our firm, and he will be greatly missed. Our thoughts are with his surviving family, friends, and colleagues. So this looks like the husband and the wife that was unfortunately, allegedly unalived by one of their children. Now, Humston's wife, according to local news outlet, was a registered nurse, but it is unclear whether she was still practicing as her nursing license had expired in 2022. Authorities have not revealed the identities and ages of the child victims, though they are believed to be teenagers, with the oldest around 15. Deputies responded to the Lake Alice Road home, a stunning waterfront property, just before 5 a.m., having received multiple 911 calls of disturbance with gunfire, and found the bodies of the 2 parents and their 3 children, according to King County Sheriff's spokesperson Mike Mellis. Now, at least some of the 911 calls that alerted the deputies to the shooting came from victims who were inside the home and hiding in a bathroom. They shot the other family members. I believe there's 5 total, not including the reporting party who's hiding in the bathroom, one dispatcher said during a call. Mellis explained that the shooting appeared to be domestic, issues and an incident involving a young man who is in significant trouble and involves firearms. So they are probably going to play this quite close to the chest until they get all of the, investigation through. These are really, really tragic cases of, full family annihilation. We had that one family, I think they were from Arizona, where the 2 brothers decided they were going to become internet famous by, I don't know where they got this idea, but copying Columbine. So they annihilated nearly every family member in their household. And unfortunately, I think some of the children were also calling from the bathroom. This will be a case to definitely watch. I do feel like it's something that's going to be a big deal because if we do have calls from victims while they're cowering in fear, I think that's very compelling and something the media and court TV is probably going to really be interested in. So I look for this being another bombshell trial when it finally does move to court. Now, in other news, you know, I have never felt this more keenly in my life, but a fool and his money are easily separated. An adult film star, Dante Cole, pumps his Cybertruck full of bullets to test if it's really fireproof, or not fireproof, bulletproof. Here's what he learned. Why? Why he's doing this, I don't know. But, I guess it's a way that you can, I don't know. To be honest with you, if you buy a Cybertruck, why shoot at it? But I'm not an adult film star either, so I don't know how one gets stuck in a wash machine all that much or under a coffee table. F, the adult film star shouts, dropping his force multiplier on the ground, putting his hands in his head in shock. I don't think it's bulletproof, Dante, the woman filming, says while playfully laughing at his disappointment. That case probably won't. It might be pled out, but I do like to try to pick stories that I think would be bigger cases coming up. I don't report on every, crime that goes on, but again, a full family annihilation, a richer part of town, possible 911 audio recording of victims being stalked. These are all kind of things that, having watched a lot of trials, these are big things that I think bring a lot of attention. So for, everyone involved, I hope he takes a plea deal so the family doesn't have to relive this. But I do like to keep you guys kind of going on what might be a trial that we will someday watch. So that's kind of my thoughts about that. I do think that we're gonna maybe learn a lot more disturbing information about that. Uh, but back to shooting your Cybertruck. After inspecting the truck, while the round may have become lodged inside the Cybertruck, one of Cole's buddy revealed that the bullet did not go through. He then again decides to fire at his Cybertruck because why not? This time, though, at an angle for a second take. During the second attempt, the round appeared to ricochet off the side of the Cybertruck, leaving a dent and a scrape, but also did not penetrate the electric vehicle. Thank you, alternate juror. That's why I like these to kind of be palate cleansers, because I don't know if it was just me or maybe because I have lived through an experience with someone who was not always the kindest and also struggled with substance. It really, that yesterday was a slog. It was a total slog, and I have my thoughts, but I will get into those with Marissa or whoever is joining me tomorrow or today with Baker, because he has to puppy sit and probably get some rest since he was not still feeling good yesterday. It worked, Cole proudly said to the camera after the second try. Since its release, multiple online personalities have tested whether the 80,000 Cybertruck was, durable. YouTuber Zach Nelson, who runs the popular channel Jerry Rig Everything, uploaded a video of him unloading rounds from an arsenal of firearms into the truck in May, which included a 50 cal and an AR-15. During Nelson's test, the truck withstood shots from a 9mm and a 22 caliber rifle, but rounds fired from the AR, and the 50 cal inflicted real damage. Tesla's owner, Elon Musk, 53, has long boasted that his Cybertrucks are bulletproof and can protect against gunfire. Tesla's CEO botched a test in front of a live audience in Los Angeles when he first revealed the company's electric pickup truck in 2019. He asked the chief designer to throw a metal ball through the bulletproof glass, but the glass cracked, drawing groans from the crowd. However, in a redemption test by the company in December, the Cybertruck engineer Wes Morrill was able to upload a video of his team firing different calibers of bullets into the vehicle's 1.8 millimeter thick stainless steel super alloy exterior. You guys, I think the Cybertrucks look super ugly. I think they look really weird. And I'm a chick who likes, APT Cruiser. So I understand that I have negative car choosing instincts. I do. I think they look weird. I mean, if you want to get one, have all sorts of fun with it, but I don't get it. So there you go. Not as bulletproof at higher calibers. But I guess, it's better than him getting stuck in a wash machine, and being whatever semi-plot goes on in a hub movie, I guess. Ma'am, would all of my flight attendants on Snake Island Air please welcome our new contestant to one-way ticket to Snake Island. Now, another mom of the year, Sarah Boone style, a mom left a toddler illegally parked in a car to go drinking at a nightclub. The child was later discovered after the car was towed. So she parked illegally, left the kid in there to go get her groove on, and, told no one. And the tow driver didn't even realize he had a freaking baby in the car. A 29-year-old mother in Texas is being arrested after she allegedly left her 3-year-old son alone in the car that was parked illegally and eventually towed while she went inside a club to drink. Randy Rochelle Brown was taken into custody on Monday and charged with one count of endangering a child, according to records. According to the criminal complaint filed in Harris County District Court, officers with the Houston Police Department at about 12:25 a.m. on Monday, past 12 o'clock midnight on a Monday, you need to, does no one else understand school days? I mean, okay, Sarah. So they found this car around 12:25 a.m. parked, illegally on the street. A local tow truck driver had towed Brown's illegally parked car, later to discover that a 3-year-old child was sleeping in the back seat. The Harris County District Attorney's Office explained that in this case, the tow truck driver towed Brown's Acura down the block from where it was illegally parked before securing it. Houston Fox affiliate KRIV reported this reportedly is a common practice for tow truck drivers because it reduces the number of confrontations with vehicle owners. As the tow truck driver attempted to secure the vehicle, the driver reportedly realized that there was a sleeping child in the back seat and called 911. Court documents state that Brown left the toddler in the car asleep for 28 minutes while she went into the club. The criminal complaint further states that she left her child in imminent danger of physical and mental impairment by leaving him unattended in an illegally parked car at night while going drinking at a nightclub, during which the car was towed away with the child inside. Records show that Brown had previously been charged with multiple crimes, including driving while intoxicated, interfering with the duties of a public servant, and she was convicted on a DUI charge, did not have a valid driver's license at the time of her arrest. Now, she was booked at the Harris County Jail and released after a $7,500 bond. Keep that baby away from her. Keep her away. She is not a mom. She is an incubator. She is someone who definitely loves her drink more than she loves her son right now. And until she settles all that out, it's not going to be good to get them back together. I don't know why I have to say common sense things other than the fact that the courts generally just try to give these children back to their parents who show no signs of changing or becoming more responsible. Now, after 40 years, a $12,000 bronze cowboy statue was returned to its owner after it was stolen from an art gallery. So this is the bronze statue. A $12,000 cowboy statue was returned to its rightful owner nearly 4 decades after it was stolen from an Arizona art gallery, according to a report. The 2-foot tall, I can speak English some days. The 2-foot tall sculpture of a cowboy sitting down with a can of chewing tobacco in his hand was swiped from the Mammon Gallery 2 in Scottsdale in 1985. And in pre-security camera days, police had never had any cracks in the case. The statue was bought by then gallery owners Bob and Betty Mamen, who are both now dead because one of their clients wanted the piece of art, the couple's daughter told the station. Before the customer could pick it up, the break-in and theft happened. She was devastated, Nancy Emmons reportedly said of her mother. There were 2 pieces in the gallery worth more than that, but they wanted that, she said of the thief or thieves. The statue, called Pinch after the 1970s tobacco advertising slogan, was one of 40 created by New Mexico artist Gordon Sindow. Last year, ABC's 15 reporters asked authorities for a list of stolen art from the Copper State for a story. The statue was one of the lost treasures aired and caught the eye of someone who knew Arlen Cook, who owned the bronze figure after he inherited it from his late brother-in-law in 2022. Cook of Gilbert said the statue was with his brother-in-law for more than 30 years, but doesn't believe his loved one was involved in the theft. He would not have stolen it, he told the station. He probably got it as a trade because he traded in antiques. They even had a a wanted poster. Cook reportedly called the authorities, and the FBI swung by the house to pick it up. ABC 15 then found Nancy Emmons, who still had the paperwork to prove it was in her family's possession. The artifact is now settled in her living room with plans to donate it to a museum. I wish that he had been recovered when my parents were still alive. They would have loved that, Emmons reported. I'm sure they're looking down and happy it's back. She also called Cook to express her gratitude that he returned it to her. I'm so impressed by that, Emmons said. In this day and age, you hear so seldom that someone does the right thing like that. It is interesting. It's not my particular cup of tea artwork, but as my artwork tends to the more Liberace, over-bedazzled Sailor Moon style, I don't think my artwork is a cup of tea, as many people's cup of teas either. So kind of get it. What in the Hades in a handbasket was going on at this school? A 2nd grader crashes a school bus during an apparent safety lesson. Quote, my child was instructed to be behind the wheel. What in the name of Liberace's ghost is going on here? Why was a child operating a school bus? A Missouri 2nd grader collided a school bus into another bus in front of her elementary school while the driver was allegedly trying to give the children a safety lesson. Oh, I'm willing to listen to this. Parents of students on 2 buses outside the Three Trails Elementary in Independence, about 10 miles from Kansas City, received an email about their children being involved in a minor incident. on school grounds during their morning drop off on October 17th, according to Fox 2 Now. They were told that one of the buses had slowly rolled into another while on school grounds, but the school allegedly left out that a student was at the helm of the massive transportation vehicle when the minor crash occurred. Alana Sheffen, 7, said she was called to the front row of the bus by the driver who was instructing the kids on what to do if there was a medical emergency, like how to open the doors and the windows, Fox 2 Now reported. Sheffin said she and the other students on the bus were asked to volunteer to help with the lesson, but when no one wanted to, the driver called her to the front seat to assist her and put her in the driver's seat. She told me to press that thing, and when I pressed it, it made the whole bus go backwards. Then I pressed the gas button, and it stopped out of nowhere, Sheffin told the outlet. The second grader's older sister, Amaya Brown, who was on board the bus during the incident, said the driver barely reacted when the minor collision happened while her sister was behind the wheel. When it happened, we hit the back of the bus. She didn't say nothing. She just went back and she parked it like nothing happened. Okay, no. This is why schools, you wonder why we don't trust you anymore, because this is the story you give us, and then our kids come home and we're like, yeah, no, Joe from class was riding the bus or was driving the bus. Oh, interesting. Tell me more. No, the bus driver told him to sit in his seat and, pretend to be a bus driver. Interesting. Yes, so this is what the parents got. Dear parents and guardians, this is a courtesy communication to inform you of a minor incident involving your child's bus during drop off this morning. One bus slowly rolled into another while on school grounds. The situation was handled properly and with care, and the school day continued as normal. This is why when I get one of these, I ask my kid what, really happens. What really happened? And then I get somewhere between maybe the truth and the whole truth. But Ambrosia Hoyt, the girl's mother, told the outlet she learned that from her daughters that Sheffin was in the driver's seat during the incident, and the school failed to inform her that her daughter, not the driver, caused the bus-on-bus collision. I was blown away. It was actually my child that was instructed to be behind the wheel of a bus, Ambrosia Holt told the outlet. While no one was injured in the incident and the school told the parents that the day continued as normal, Holt questioned why she didn't hear about her daughter's involvement in the incident from the elementary school's office, nor was she informed the safety lesson was happening. I didn't know that they have our children doing this. I'm pretty sure there's other parents that don't know. So that's my biggest thing, because like I said, this could have resulted in something super big. The following day, other parents told the outlet that this was the first time they had heard of a student-involved collision. It's not something I would be comfortable with my kid being on a bus and being either expected to help into the driver's side, or B, being on a bus with another kid who's driving. A parent of a student at the elementary school, Sheila Harrison, told the outlet. The Independence Police Department told the outlet they were not notified of the collision. It remains to be seen how the bus got into motion while the student was behind the wheel, or if the district is investigating the school bus driver. This is just holy giblets. No, do not. Okay, so I'm of two minds on this. I do think that, giving kids basic ideas of, okay, bus driver has an issue. How can you help? And the main thing would be sit down, remain calm, try to, be safe. I don't know that I would want the kids learning how to open and shut the bus door, how to drive their own bus. Why is it someone will have a good common sense idea, like, let's make sure kids understand, because a lot of our bus drivers in my particular area are older, retired, men and women, so they could possibly have a medical episode. So maybe having a talk of, hey, if something happens, these are maybe the steps we want you to follow. But why is it then they come up with this absolute insanity? Like, we're going to teach the children how to open the doors and sit in the bus driver's seat. This seems like a terrible idea. And of course, the school didn't tell the truth. Now, move over Sarah Boone, because we have another woman who loves a Louisville Slugger. A woman claims she quote unquote blacked out during a fight with boyfriend who was stabbed in the neck and beaten to not being alive anymore with a baseball bat. Well, let's see how blacking out versus we were playing hide and seek is going to work. A 20-year-old woman in Texas is accused of unaliving her boyfriend, allegedly claiming she blacked out and awoke covered in blood while the victim had been stabbed in the neck and suffered just a global amount of blunt force trauma with a baseball bat. Mackenzie Renee Airy was taken into custody on Friday evening and charged with one count of murder in the horrific slaying of 24-year-old Gregory Mandel Bobanox, the second. Bobano, maybe? I don't know. It looks Cajun-ish. According to a news release from Port Neches Police Department, around 9:30 on October 18th, 2024, they responded to an emergency room call from the Palms apartment complex, about 250 miles east of Austin. While en route to the address, officers were advised that at least one person involved in the incident was already at a medical center of Southeast Texas, while another one was possibly deceased in the apartment at the complex. Upon arriving at the scene, first responders said they entered the apartment and discovered an adult male victim, later identified as Bobino, lying dead on the living room floor, covered in blood. Based on evidence observed at the scene, it appeared that the male had been stabbed and taken out with a baseball bat. The probable cause affidavit obtained by Beaumont ABC and NBC affiliate KBMT states that he appeared to have suffered a massive blunt force trauma to both the head and neck, along with a deep puncture to one side of his neck. Officers at the apartment complex collected evidence and spoke to the witnesses, while others responded to the hospital to speak with Erie, who was giving treatment after claiming she had been the victim of an assault. It was during an interview with the police that Erie said after she arrived home from work that evening, she got into a fight with her live-in boyfriend, who is also the father of her child. At some point during the argument, Erie claimed that he punched her in the back of the head with a closed fist, then choked her so violently she passed out. Early reportedly claimed that she awoke from the blackout and she was covered in blood. She then phoned a family member to come get her and the child. The family member then transported her and the child to the hospital. In police interviews, several neighbors told investigators that they heard the couple fighting in their apartment. At some point after the fight seemed to have ended, an elderly woman who was said to have arrived at the couple's home. Several neighbors reportedly said they remember hearing the older woman yelling, "How, how, how, how." Authorities took Erie to custody after the hospital and transported her to Jefferson County Jail, where she was charged with murder. She is currently being held on a $100,000 bond. Now, KFDM reported that Erie has outstanding warrants in Indiana for disorderly conduct, failing to appear, public intoxication, and minor consumption. Authorities emphasize that the investigation into the incident remains ongoing. She definitely looks very severe in her mugshot. I have never been blackout rage filled. I've never been there. So I don't know the validity of her statement. One of the interesting things that I thought that I had to take in process from Sarah Boone yesterday, having lived with someone who is not very kind and addicted to substances. We got her truth yesterday. And what I mean by that is we now see how Sarah internalizes things, how she makes the narrative in her head. You could kind of see her working through how she dodges the bullet of responsibility at every turn and how she, really internalizes and processes these situations. So it was infuriating and enlightening to get that sort of perspective from Sarah because, we haven't heard that. We've heard her letters, we've heard this. But now I do get a more deeply I more deeply understand how it is that she processes these things. And she processes them through the lens of, I don't know why these things always happen to me. I am not the factor. I am trying to help everyone. And so everything that goes through Sarah is filtered through this lens. So I no longer think that she is faking how she feels. So she is coming from a genuine place in which her mind reorganizes all events to make her the victim. So she might genuinely have felt fear in that night. The problem is that she reacted like no other person who's ever been afraid and been in those kind of situations. It is so anathema to me to go to sleep when, your tormentor is awake and you are not able to defend yourself. So and that doesn't click for her. So other people that have been through these things that are like, "Hi, why would you go to sleep? Why would you put yourself in a vulnerable position? Why would you leave your dogs there?" Those kind of things. This is something Sarah has simply never had to think about. She doesn't think about it because through her filter, she has done everything she could. And it was really interesting to sort of get a glimpse of how her brain, however oddly it processes it, but it was also incredibly difficult to watch. It was incredibly difficult to know that his family was in there, and I think that we have completely no one should have laid hands on either of them. That being said, I do think it was enlightening to see how Sarah processes these things. Because I don't think we got her truth. Now, where that is on the spectrum of truthiness is probably way removed, but I learned more about how Sarah has to tell herself things in order for it to work within her worldview, and I think that's what I think was interesting about yesterday, but was incredibly difficult to watch someone that has no self-awareness, has no ability to look at what she was doing wrong. But it did give me a really, really good view into how she looks at things, how she sees things, and she does make a little bit more sense in context to me now, but it was incredibly difficult to go through. Now, apparently in Germany, if you order a pizza or a pizza order number 44 or number 40, it also came with a little bit of Colombian marching powder. So I'm pretty sure that this is probably no longer a sale item, but when in Germany, maybe try number 40. German police busted a pizzeria in the western city of Dusseldorf that was also delivering a side order of the, nose clams. Whenever customers asked for an item number 40, it was one of the best selling pizzas. Criminal director Michael Graf von Moltke told reporters in Dusseldorf. He said police were first tipped off by suspicious food inspectors in March. When the drug squad officers began observing the restaurant, they soon discovered why pizza number 40 was so popular. When the police buzzed an apartment of the pizzeria manager, the 36-year-old allegedly threw a bag of rugs out of the window, not street legal pharmaceuticals. He was like, ta da! Which fell right into the arms of police officers, Dusseldorf police said. The bounty included 1.6 kilograms or 3.5 pounds of nose clams, 40 grams of cannabis, and $268,000 in euros. So approximately $290,000, 378, give or take ish. Police said that the restaurant manager, who was released from detention after a few days, soon reopened his business, starting to sell pizza number 40 with the side order yet again. That gave investigators opportunity to look into the supply chain, and after several weeks, some 150 officers busted an entire drug ring in Western Germany, arrested 3 suspects, including a 22-year-old head of drug operation, and raided homes and businesses of another 12 suspects. During the raid, they came across 2 cannabis plantations in nearby Mulkenleichenbach and Solgen. I apologize to any of my German watchers. I have no idea, and I'm sure I just butchered that name. So with 360 plants respectively, they also found cutting and stabbing weapons as well as cash and expensive watches. The pizzeria manager was arrested when he tried to flee abroad and remains in custody. None of the suspects' names were released in line with Germans' privacy rules. So there you go. I don't know what. Please, for the love of sweet baby Jeebus, tell me it did not have sweet corn on it. I have seen some interesting pizza combinations, and I am now less horrified of pineapple on pizza because I have seen sweet corn on pizza. And look, if you like it, have at it, but to me. Now, in what I can only say is just how in the why. A child prawn suspect from Massachusetts was found hiding in Connecticut woods. So we got him. We got him. A Massachusetts man wanted by police on child grossness charges was found in a secluded campsite in Woodstock, Connecticut, after hiding there for months, U.S. Marshals Service said on Monday. Stephen LeBrocquet, 40, was charged with a slew of new charges, including child grossness material, taking photographs of smallish children in their private areas, intimidation of a witness, reckless endangerment of a child, threatening obscene matter to a minor, assault and battery, the Marshal Service said. So he was like, I'm going to live in a camp out by the forest. Okay. Police in Franklin and New Bedford, Massachusetts requested assistance of the marshals after they were unable to track this gentleman down on their own, according to a statement. LeBrocquet was moved into custody of the Connecticut State Police on fugitive charges and is awaiting extradition to Massachusetts to face a mountain of other charges against him. I know, he couldn't even afford a van down by the river. I'm kind of okay. You know what? You want to be gross with children, we will send you to the middle of Wyoming. You can have your own commune, but stay away from the rest of us. Stay away. Lawrence Bobnick, acting U.S. Marshal for the District of Connecticut, told the Boston Globe that, he was a long-awaited high-risk arrest, and it wouldn't be possible without the collaboration between all the departments involved, spanning from local departments to federal departments. Despite his extraordinary effort to elude capture, the apprehension of Mr. LeBrocquet demonstrates the tenacity of the U.S. Marshals Violent Fugitive Task Force and incredible value our law enforcement partnerships have in fulfilling mutual missions of improving safety to communities we serve. Yeah, this is holy fazoli's. I'm glad they caught him and he can't hurt anyone else, and that's about that. A Shakespeare book was returned to a New Jersey library 100 years overdue. I am terrible at returning stuff to libraries, which is why I have no library card from now on. I just use the digital kind of stuff because I am the one that will always forget to return library books, and I don't mean to, but I know I am not responsible enough. A copy of William Shakespeare's Life of King Henry V was returned to a New Jersey library 101 years after it was checked out. Paterson Public Library officials said a woman named Cynthia Downey found the book while sorting through possessions that had belonged to her deceased grandmother, Arlene Downey, and discovered the tome had been checked out from the library in 1923. Dele then contacted the library to make arrangements to return the book. It's never too late to return overdue library materials, Corey Fleming, director of Paterson Public Library, told Tapinto Patterson. This is the first time I have encountered something like this in over 20 years of working in the field. Librarians said that the 1910 printing had a limited run and is highly valued by collectors. The book wasn't quite as overdue as the one returned to the Padre Libraries in Colorado this year. The officials revealed that a copy of Ivanhoe by Sir Walter Scott was returned 105 years after its due date, February 13th, 1919. So there you go. And as I am learning from Jung, I did not realize how much pressure these K-pop people are put under. I came across this headline and I was like, he got in trouble for kissing a girl? But I guess it is a completely different culture and fan base and everything. A K-pop star was photographed kissing a woman and fans decided he should be fired over it. Like I said, I don't know a whole lot about K-pop, but holy fazolies, this is an amazing backlash for something that I thought was kind of a normal thing that we kind of expect of our stars over here. K-pop star Sungyeon was banished for almost a year from his boy band Rise amid a backlash over leaked photos of him kissing a woman when he was a trainee. Behavior considered unacceptable by some fans who expect their idols to remain single and have wholesome images. When the South Korean entertainment company behind the band, SM Entertainment, tried to bring him back to the band earlier this month, fans weren't ready to forgive him even now, sending white funeral wreaths to the company headquarters in Seoul and organizing campaigns in protest. Within 2 days of his return, SM Entertainment said that he was out again, leading fans to post triumphant videos showing them dancing in front of the funeral wreaths. I think leaving the team is the best decision for everyone, he said in a letter posted to social media. I don't want to cause more confusion or hurt to fans, and I don't want to cause more harm to the members or the community. But why is him having... I am confused. So, from what I'm gathering, when you're kind of a pop idol, you're not supposed to be you're supposed to be kind of unattainable, but who the hell knows? I am so confused by this whole thing. And it's not my genre, so I don't want to sit here and be that person that's like, I don't get it. It's just stupid. Because this obviously is very important to, their fans, but I don't get it. I don't know. I don't understand. It seems really ridiculous to have to, I don't know, hide that you're going to be in a relationship with someone. I don't know. Where is Jung? We all have questions. Let's see here. They do try to explain it a little bit. Now, international fans have been pushing back and wish that Sungyang would be allowed back, condemning as what they see, the corporation caving to bullying by toxic fans. Funeral wreaths are part of a tradition for actual deceased people, and to my knowledge, are generally filled with messages of sympathy to the bereaved and the deceased. Taryn McMurray, a British fan of Rise since their debut last year, said in an interview last week, to turn something that's meant to be a sign of respect into a tactic for bullying is incredibly egregious. Ariana, a 14-year-old Rise fan from Wisconsin, said she planned to boycott S&M Entertainment until it announces that he's back and he is well. Just because they want to entertain people doesn't mean they should give up all their freedom, said Ariana, who declined to be identified for her full name in fear of backlash from other K-pop fans. Okay, so K-pop fans are crazy. I think that's what we're learning about this. When a 14-year-old little girl from, Wisconsin is afraid to say, "I'm okay if he kissed a girl." Again, I mean, have you seen our pop stars? A lot of them hung out with P. Diddy. I'd rather have a dude just having a relationship with a chick any day. Like, oh, Justin Timberlake and Britney Spears are together? Works for me. Well, you guys, that is the news. I stopped at K-pop because, look, I have seen these people on the internets. They are mean. So I am stopping right there because I have no idea. Although, Jung, you'll be very proud of me. I finally remembered to catch myself from calling them BTK instead of BTS. I will be letting you guys go here and hopping over to get stuff ready for Sarah Boone, day 100 and gajillion. And I'll have some thoughts over there that I'll get a little bit more into because I think yesterday was as disappointing and upsetting and kind of anticlimactic as it was. I'm glad I had last night to process it. So I think I can give you guys some things that might make a little bit of sense, might not, but we'll have some time to kill before we get into the trial. So bye, you guys.